Free Palestine.
Bro, I don't understand anything you're saying.
We're on stolen land. We need our reparations.
Who needs reparations?
The black people.
Oh. They don't.
Free Palestine.
Oh, I get where you're going with this now.
Let's burn the American flag.
No, I don't think burning the American flag. I don't get that part.
We're on stolen land.
But I also come from a family of people that left Mexico to get the kids in America. So,
yeah, we should all house Mexicans.
I know there's people that still live in Mexico and never left Mexico that might not understand that part, but those are still my cousins and brothers. But at least my family, they went through a lot of hardship to get over the border to have a better life in the States, for the kids to have a better life in the States. So I don't really get the concept of burning the flag and stuff like that. I don't believe in that.
Well, these are your people.
Oh,
the liberals.
Liberals?
I don't know what that is. I don't know too much about politics, bro. I'll be honest with you.
I think he was just trolling.
But I know at the same time, like,
What's that? I would like to answer the prompt. Hello. And it's like, I steal the natives' resources and land, and the others, I steal their identity and history. And I'm like, yeah, what's funny is, like, the natives, they erase their own history. They erase their own identity. They don't keep up with it. When you look at statistics, they're more likely to date out than even date their own people. And there's only like 1 million of them that are actually pure, and they're still dating out in the race that they are more than anyone else. So I'm just like, if anybody's taking away their culture, it's them. They're erasing themselves.
Hold on. Can you elaborate? What do you mean by native?
Native American people, reservation, living people.
Native Americans?
Yes.
Talking about the indigenous people of the Americas, of the whole
yes,
continent?
Those people in the United States.
The 600 million Latinos who are part indigenous to America?
They're calling, come on. Those people are not actual indigenous people. Those are Mexicans now, and their history is being conquered. They're more Spaniard today than they are indigenous.
You came up on the panel to
they're more Spaniard than they are indigenous today. What are you talking about?
To push your Afrocentric ideology.
You're talking about the same Mexicans in their own countries where they discriminate against the indigenous populations. Those Mexicans, they discriminate against their own indigenous population. They don't want to be. Look at their telenovelas. They're white tea Mexicans, and they never show their indigenous Mexicans. They don't care about indigenous. They don't care about their indigenous history. They don't even want to be indigenous. So I don't know why you're putting Mexican. Mexicans don't want to be no indigenous. Trust me on that. They rather be white.
Hold on. What's your identity?
I'm a black American woman. My history is, slavery, things like that.
Yeah, you're a crayon color. I can pick you out of my crayon box. You're black. Yeah.
Good for you, and you're less than 1% of the population. You ain't got shit going on in your own country. This is your country, and you ain't got no power.
You have no culture.
We've got more history. We've got more influence. We've got more influence in your people in your own country. This your shit, and we've got more influence than you. Where's your LeBron James?
I'm better.
Where's your LeBron James? Where your Rihanna? Where your Beyonce? Where your Simone Biles? Where your Serena Williams? Where they at? I can't name many indigenous people. I can't name
I don't think you should be.
What are y'all foods?
Speaking about from South America. Seriously, that is not okay. You don't even know that. You don't even know our culture. You don't know nothing.
No, I know what it is. Your culture is selling out. The Chiefs pocket.
Do you ever? Did you like the
they pocket their money?
Selling out. Do you don't even like This is insane. Like, you're literally
Your own
coming up
chiefs
here
pocket their own
talking-
money instead of investing
But
into
your
their
own money,
reservations.
you
What are you talking about?
Dude, what reservations? We don't have reservations. It's not the
I'm
United
talking
States
about
of
in the United
America.
States. We're talking about the
you're
United States
talking about that's in
clearly.
America.
Because black
So, come on.
Americans, the ones you're talking about, stealing their identity and history.
Look at you.
We're in the U.S. Come on, stop being
Girl, you
dense.
just dumb, bro. We
Do
talking
not
about
be
United
dense.
States and you think we talking about South America. Be quiet,
Exactly.
girl.
Why are you talking about South America knowing damn well we're talking about the United States of America? Because this is where the most of the influence comes from.
Girl,
Isn't
started
like
literally
LeBron
talking
like
some
on
BS.
50 Cent's hit list for like Diddy stuff? That's not too
Okay,
much to
but
brag
wait,
about, to be honest. We don't really want a LeBron, to be honest.
Where's your
We're good, girl. We're good.
Yeah.
At least my people
You can have your
Richard
titles.
Serena Williams. Where's your Beyonce?
I mean, that's not really anything
Where they
to be
at?
proud of.
Go rob a store.
Well, you know what? At least our
You got R.
celebrities
Go
are
unalive
devil
yourself. You know indigenous
worshippers
people unalive themselves more than
pedos.
anybody else. You guys commit the highest suicide rates. Come on. You guys hate yourselves.
That's what you're gonna do.
You hate out more than you hate your people. You guys hate us. Worry about your chiefs popping that money instead of investing into the reservation water. You guys barely have water.
You're whack. You're whack.
Go kiss
You're whack. And you're not gonna try to
How
tell
much
us
you worry
about
about that?
our own
Worry about
history.
your
You're not gonna tell us about our country.
Less than 1% of the population in the United States who is no type of influence.
Our country, Mexico was actually
You have no type of influence.
prior to.
You got no representation.
Don't be upset.
We got
Don't
more
be upset.
representation in your own shit, and
You
we
can keep
came
LeBron
here.
too, girl.
We were brought here.
You can
This
keep
was your
it.
shit.
We don't want it.
You wish
We're
you
good.
had our DNA.
Can be ghetto, but guess what? You guys use our slang. You listen to our music. I don't listen to native music.
Not really.
I don't listen to no native
Not
music.
really.
We
That's a
don't listen to that
generalization.
crappy ass music.
No native.
These are
Where are your
dollars to
Denzel
have our
Washingtons?
DNA.
Apparently she's
Sorry.
gay.
Where your Halle Berrys? Where your Halle Berrys?
Where your kids
We
got
have
at?
Salma Hayek. They're gorgeous people. We have Frida Kahlo.
You're not
What do you
popular.
got? Nothing.
I just named so many
right.
people.
They don't know
So
who your
black
big
guys
daddies
are.
are.
Where
They don't know
your
who your
historic
big
leaders?
daddies are.
Where your
They don't
MLK?
know who
Where
your
your Malcolm
baby
X?
daddies
Where they at?
are.
Where your people that fought for their people? We don't even know the indigenous people that fought for their
Yeah,
people.
civil rights on our side too.
You ain't contributing nothing to
Our
this
history
country.
isn't shit.
You ain't contributing nothing to this country but being colonized. You were on your
So once
reservation
you know
not
your
doing shit.
history, then you can
When
talk
do
about
black
our
and
history.
natives have
How about
problems
that?
with each other?
Know
yo?
my history.
Well, then don't
do
speak
black-
on ours. Stick to
When do
yours.
black and
You
natives
guys
have
talking
problems?
about we
Doesn't
stealing
sound
your
like you're very
identity and
smart,
history.
'cause
We
you're
ain't
making
stealing that
stupid
shit. We
generalizations.
don't want that little bit of shit.
Sounds
Y'all
like
ain't
you're
got
making
none of
really
that.
dumb
Yo,
We don't want that
black
lie
and
culture.
natives black
We
people
don't
have
want
problems.
that population. We don't want that shit.
You're speaking out of emotion.
So therefore, we don't
We
want
got
your
our own-
culture.
You're
The fuck?
speaking out of emotion.
We got nothing.
When do
Stop just
black
big mouth.
Baby oil. Stop taking your kids' baby oil.
This is the native comeback.
It probably has baby oil
Hey,
up
go
in
read
your
the
ass.
shit. Everyone listens to the reservation.
actually
You guys don't know
growing.
about that either. All your
Guess
women
what?
don't give it back. All your cheese pockets,
Don't
your
be
money.
guess
mad.
what?
Don't be mad when we
Hey,
give
but
that
guess
shit
what?
right back to you.
We're actually growing
Don't
in
be
our era
upset.
is coming now. We're actually growing in our era is
Oh,
coming
you're gonna
now.
talk
Hey,
about drunkenness in our community, girl? Should we
Yo,
talk
you
about
guys have more than our
drug
people.
problem that your community has?
Disproportionately
You wanna
affected
go
by more
there?
than
Let's talk about your
You're
crack
disproportionately more affected by their
Yo,
population.
Go to like the hip hop music.
yo, this
That's
the
the
first
1%
time I ever heard of black and natives having
Your
problems.
community
with each
has a
other.
lot of epidemics in it.
Yo,
We're not
when do
talking
black
about
and
it.
natives have a
Still
problem
more
with each other?
popular.
Don't go there.
We're still more.
Hello?
Don't go there with all the
Somebody
epidemics y'all
You
have.
guys influence.
Don't go there with all the epidemics you have. Don't
Yo,
go
somebody
there.
answer the question. When do
Hey,
black
y'all
and
got a
natives have
whole
problems with each
country
other?
in this
When
ass.
do we start having problems with each other, man?
I got a whole country in
I
this
don't know about
country.
that.
everyone.
She started
There's
In
talking
the
so
about
much
western
shit about our
good.
country.
hemisphere. Come on, man.
Of course she left.
Natives have problems with each other, man. I don't understand what we arguing for. We don't try to steal your identity. That's
Thank God she's gone.
a
I'm so
small,
happy.
that's
Oh
a
my God.
small
Yay.
population of black people that
She
feel
sound
like
like
they
Caribbean.
from. Hold on, that's a
That's
small
crazy.
population of black people that feel like they from America. We know America,
Man,
y'all
shut up with all
country.
that yapping, bro. Don't nobody give a damn about your pacifist ass.
We know y'all native. We know natives of this. Y'all had this country before, man. When we start beefing, that shit
This
crazy.
country,
Man, a white
this
man got us.
country.
Well, did you
beefing.
miss the
funny
part
that
where
you
that
relate
girl was
only
talking
to
all
a
that
country.
shit? Did you miss that part? Because that's the only reason why we got
hands
heated.
talking hella
She
shit.
was talking crazy shit
I
about
understand.
how our own people in Mexico are against the indigenous, and that's false. So that's the problem.
But look at
That's
the
when it
problem.
started.
That's not
Look at
fine.
the problem. We don't steal your identity.
The Americans
We
did.
don't-
The Spaniards did the same shit the Americans did. What is you saying, girl?
Y'all
People
speaking
in
about.
Spain,
Don't say
people in
girl.
Spain don't
I was just
wear
answering the
people
reason
in
why we
Spain
got
don't do
heated just
anything
now.
with the
Wait,
stuff
wait,
that
I'm
they're
just
doing.
telling you the fact of
No,
history.
Say.
That shit cap.
Say.
The
Spaniards,
Spaniards
what did
were
the
killing them
Spaniards do?
too.
Don't say the K word, dude. You're gonna get booted.
Man,
The
y'all
Spaniards
speaking
did
of us.
what? What did they do? What did the Spaniards do?
The same thing the British did.
That's not true. They're
Okay.
consensual marriages. You can't pull a black legend on us, bro. We are part Hispanic and indigenous. They're
Man,
consensual
the Spaniards did
marriages.
the same thing. Ain't
There is no.
man, y'all,
No, they
yeah,
didn't.
that's
There was
different.
What you
That's
talking
different.
about?
Here we go.
Christopher Columbus was
Look,
Spanish.
y'all-
generalize.
man, be
Christopher
quiet.
Columbus
There is no
Actually, he wasn't. He was Italian.
South America.
He was Spanish, bro.
He's Italian, and he got booted by the Italian monarchy, and that's why he went to Spain.
He was working for the Spaniards at
No,
the
sir,
time.
he was. Well,
Yeah,
yes,
but if
he
you
was
look at the
working for
problem-
Spain, but he's not Spanish.
At the
He was
point of the day,
Italian.
Spain
I
That's a
still the
fact.
natives
Spain
You
versus
can't
the
erase
land.
what he is.
Spain
He's Italian.
sent him.
So why have blacks
Spain
done
sent
it?
him.
So what
Why
That
have
was a
blacks done
Spaniard
it?
Okay,
mission.
so and you're speaking English.
Someone put Showtime.
That was a
British
Spaniard
to you.
mission.
Yo, why have blacks done the natives? Why have blacks
Yeah,
done
what
the
the British
natives?
did
Why
to
have we
you.
possibly done the natives?
Man,
You're
you're
British.
not even getting the context, man. Read the thing on pictures.
Your last name is British. Your whole culture is British. You're British. You know, you're not even indigenous. You're British and you're not even indigenous. You have no indigenous DNA. You're African and European. We're indigenous and a little European, yeah, because, you know, it's the Spaniards, but
Man, you
we're
don't
still
even know me.
indigenous. You're not even connected to our
You
lands
don't even know me.
at all.
You
This is
don't
why you're
even know
African.
me.
All right.
Why
I
have
never
made
wanted
y'all
to.
not
I never
connected to
claimed
your
the
own
land,
land,
bro.
bro? They
I'm
made
from
y'all not
Mississippi.
connected to your own land, bro.
Listen, we're indigenous to the land. We're original people of the Americas. No one's ever going to make us feel like we don't belong. They're not going to use that psyop. They're not going to use those tricks to make us feel as if we're less than any other race, because we are the majority and we're also the original people of this land. So,
Yeah, exactly. Like, who are you to tell us who we are? Like, you're in our land. Like, if you're in the United States, you know, you're in our land. You know, it's part of the American continent. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of proof. You know, the average Latino, they're like over 40%, you know, indigenous. So, and our, you know, Latino culture is like 90% indigenous. So, I don't see this idea that, you know, we're not indigenous at all and that we're just Spaniards and we only speak Spanish and, you know, eat trashy, you know, crackers and, you know, crackers and cheese.
I love the fact that so many people use, for example, this type of necklaces, and no one knows, for example, where it comes from. Okama necklaces from the MB. This is from Colombia. This shit is from Colombia, and like it's just so funny. It's just too funny that you guys, like, if you ask someone, they wouldn't even know. It's like, oh yeah, it's from the United States. Like, no, guys, come on, like. These people coming in here being all like, yeah, you guys are Spanish, you guys are Spaniard. Like, come on.
Y'all country was colonized.
Nah, bro, nah.
Y'all
Yeah, you will be so
killed
colonized.
y'all. That's the fact of the matter. Y'all
But two
country
things
killed
can be
y'all.
true at once. Are you that naive?
That's true.
Tell me you're
But
not
y'all-
that dense.
Y'all are
Tell me
Spaniards
you're not
and
that
natives.
dense, dude.
You're
Tell me you're not that dense, because
It's
two
not that
things
dense.
can be true at once. Yes,
You
on
became
one
racist.
hand,
Using
it
K
was
word.
colonized, and on the other hand,
bro.
there was rooted indigeneity still intact.
But
You're
do y'all
crazy.
really think that
Making
black
statements
people,
like that. That's
do
the
y'all
problem.
really think that black people really think that we're Indians?
No,
You
not
know?
all black people.
I mean,
No, not
okay,
all of you. No,
so
of
the
course
problem
not.
is
So what I'm saying, can I
It's
say
not
something?
all.
Can I
It's
say-
not
can I
all.
say-
But
if
you
it
cannot.
doesn't
You can't
pertain
say
to
that you
you-
haven't seen the Pretendians.
If
Okay,
it doesn't
like that's what
pertain
we're
to you,
talking
then
about.
it's not about you.
Okay, I know it's not about me, but at the end of the
Okay.
day, listen what I'm saying. At the end of the day, for the small minute black people that feels that way, for y'all to have that prompt up with the white man and the black man connecting like we friends or something, it's crazy. Most black people don't feel that way. We know where we come from. It's some people that feel that
Then
way.
how come some of y'all be telling us, oh, go back to your country, fix your country, I'm gonna call, you know, ICE, and, you know, oh, we were Buffalo Soldiers, I'm proud of my ancestors. So, like,
That's not us
guys,
telling
yeah.
you. That's not us telling us believing that we're Indians, bro. White people is the ones that came.
yeah, you're
over here.
siding against, you're allying with a white man. Because those are white tea
Black
supremacist talking
and
points.
Indians
All
been
over my
allies
country.
since slavery. We ran the reservation. We sick.
Look, the fact of the matter is that
We had
there
rebels.
are
It is
prompts
the
here
fact
on
that you're
TikTok
Buffalo
where
soldiers.
there are African Americans, not all, gearing towards talking trash about us people from Mexico and also indigeneity peoples of the Americas. And that's what we're gearing it towards. It's not necessarily towards everybody.
Black and Mexicans, I can see the correlation. But Indians, we don't have no problem with Indians. I mean, at the end of the day, some people, I know some black people be like, yo, we're from America.
India?
We never.
We have nothing to do with people from
Black
India.
and Mexican.
I said Indian.
Mexicans married.
Well, do you know what that word even comes from?
Native indigenous. I'm sorry, not
Thank
Indians.
you.
Native indigenous. My bad if I mispronounced y'all. I don't want to disrespect
This
nothing.
is one thing you guys don't know, and they never told you that because we've always had Black History Month. So you got to realize that Mexicans are actually original people of this continent as well.
I know California, Texas, I know that, bro.
Yeah, well, Mexicans actually have the most indigenous blood to this continent. Mexican people.
But Mexican people don't even feel that way, though. Mexican people don't even feel that way about natives. Y'all speaking of Mexicans, but Mexicans don't relate to natives like brotherhood
Native
type
Americans
stuff.
are cousins. We've always hung out together.
Yeah, we do.
Always.
What?
Yeah, we look the same.
Well, there
Yeah,
is
we look like the
commonality
same.
in the
We're
sense of the
brown,
colonization,
copper
the
skin.
land stealing, the treaties, the wars. Yes, we do have that in common. That is where we
Yeah, our
connect. And our history is it's
listen.
fresh. It's not. Do you know when the Mexican-American War happened? Do you know how fresh that
We're
is?
the same people, brother. We're the same blood.
It really
But
wasn't
don't you
all that
realize
far
there's
back.
no separation?
People don't have
Bro,
no problems. Hold on, bro.
You're using names, bro. You're using names and country names. But at the end of the day, we're the same blood. We're the
Okay,
same people.
all right.
Native Americans.
I don't see them in Apache Junction. I don't see them in.
That doesn't mean that
you
you
never
don't
hung
I
out on
don't
a
see you
reservation.
guys together.
Explain it to you.
Just because we're not approved by the white man,
Let me explain it to you, bro.
validate
Because I have
our
friends that are.
indigeneity.
Mexicans, indigenous people. When I think about indigenous people, blacks never had problem with indigenous people. I don't know about this. Hold on, bro. Let me say what I'm saying, and then you can jump in. And let me say what I said. We never had problem. Now, when it comes to Mexicans don't like BLK people. Period. They don't like us, and
Well, that's not a fair generalization to make.
Not all. I'm not saying all.
Mexicans.
I'm gonna answer real quick.
I don't feel like that, bro. I don't feel like that.
You know they don't, man.
Yeah, we've been eating corn
First of all,
before Europeans came over here.
Chinga madre, cállate, güey. Hey, first of all, bro, right now I just heard you say one thing, right? You're off on a lot of things, making generalizations. The first thing is, bro, you're making generalizations as if the only natives are within the U.S. borders. Are you saying that the only Native Americans, the only indigenous Americans only exist within the U.S.?
No, I'm not speaking to that. No, not at all.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for admitting that. So, these borders didn't exist before, right? They're modern creations.
Okay.
Right? So, we all share pretty much a similar DNA, like all the way up and down the Americas, right? There's American DNA markers that are only for indigenous people. That's literally all, and that's not really even hard to argue, you know.
Yeah,
The problem is, and I will say this, bro. Like, I don't think nobody will deny that people have mixture of DNA ever since colonization, right? Even the people that say they look black but have added mixed DNA, you can say, hey man, you might be a mixed native. All right, that's valid. But the problem that a lot of people have is when people start talking about, hey, we were the original natives, that they were black, and then you guys are Siberians or something, and then it's just that's where the problem comes in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that problem, and I understand y'all frustration because I don't feel like blacks are indigenous to this land. I don't feel that way, and most blacks don't. It's a small subgroup of black people that feel that way. So that's why I look at the prompt, and it's almost like y'all.
Okay, so do you?
Hold on, listen, bro. Let me
You
say
recognize
that.
you're African?
I recognize it. I recognize that where my ancestor come from is most likely West Africa. Yes, I recognize that. So when you guys
It's a yes or no question. I don't know why you just say yes or no. Or do you
I say
recognize
yeah,
you're
bro.
African?
I just say yeah. What you talking about?
Okay, cool.
appreciate that.
But you
We get
jumping
that.
in, but you're not letting me explain what I'm saying. Whoever this guy is, like I said, I know my ancestor is West African, come from the African continent, and I believe that wholeheartedly. Now, I feel like black people that try to say when y'all call pretendians and feel like they're here, they just trying to escape whiteness in the slavery channel that our ancestor been in and trying to find a home somewhere because we don't know our history. So they trying to put our history far away from, when we just try to have control over our history. And it might be coming in on your people and your history because y'all have suffered great travesties, done suffered great hurt from the hands of the same people that hurt us. So my only problem is that small segment of people is not indicative of the most black people. So when I look at your prompt, I take offense to it because y'all got us bumping fists with this white man that we don't fuck with. And that's the whole problem.
Hey, I appreciate you for being honest, man, and that's the whole point, and you're right. So what you're saying is literally the same thing that we're telling a lot of these people. And hey, man, all I'm saying is they're making a lot of noise about that, dude, and to the point where they even start questioning Native peoples that are within the U.S. that are federally recognized. Like when you go to some of these lives, they'll turn around and start telling, like, for example, I've seen some peoples that are Navajo or Dakota that talk to them, tell them the same thing. And they start calling them Siberians and all kinds of stuff, bro. And that's what the problem is, And I've seen other black people check them, dude, on that, and they throw it back in their face. Or I've even seen people that are African check them. And they start telling them things like, oh, where are the boats at? How come they're not around? But, making these crazy arguments, bro. But the problem is, there are some people that are not informed onto the ancestry, right? On either side. Whether they're black, Native American, Mexican, whatever. And this kind of stuff that they're spreading is actually affecting their heads, so they're starting to believe that. That's why the whole situation with the Lumbees got out of hand because, some of them might be mixed. I'm not saying they're not because I don't know all of their DNA. But then you have people like this, they're getting very recognized, and then all these other people claim they're the natives. You see how it gets out of hand right there?
I see how it gets out. See, as a black person, you got to understand. See, almost every racial group knows their history except black people. So it's like weird to it. People try to grab on to something just to identify us. Even if you look at some indigenous people, you can see some characteristic why black people feel like we've been here. And they don't know indigenous people was also a safe haven for a lot of black slaves, and it had been mixture of black blood with indigenous people. Not saying black people are the indigenous people. It's just like if you see a darker indigenous people with black features, maybe so that.
Hey, brother, you know how like in the black community, bro, like in the black community, if a white person or some other people like use your culture, they call them culture vultures.
Yeah.
So one thing, like, look at the pyramid. This is the wonder of the world in my picture. Like, this is our history. This is our culture. We got some of the coolest shit. We got wonders of the world, right? We got some of the coolest shit. We got a cool culture, right? We have a cool history. So, like, I understand why people want to be culture vultures, right? And steal our identity and steal our history because it's cool. Mexicans got cool stuff. Native Americans got cool stuff, bro. Like, we have a really cool history when it comes to the history of the world of existence, right? So that's people, but people feel like in your community they need to erase a certain group to put themselves in the place of that group. And that's where the problems are coming from, is from trying to erase a certain group of people.
But if you're looking at TikTok through these TikTok lenses, you will know that's probably 1,000,000.1% of black people in America share them thoughts. But on TikTok and on these social medias, when people have a platform and it's 100 people in there or a couple people in there that agree with the same mindset, it make it seem so much bigger than what it is. And that's what it is. When you really talk to a majority of black people, I guarantee if you could go to 1,000 black people with the ideology, where do black people come from? I'll tell you at least 973 will say we from Africa. Then you'll get 23 people say I'm an indigenous American and we from here. So it's a small population.
Literally saying,
Yeah,
no.
we never.
They're saying this,
Yeah,
bro.
we never
It's
generalized.
get what you're saying. There's a difference between them saying we're indigenous. They're saying, no, you Mexicans aren't Aztecs. We were the original Aztecs. You guys come from, okay, so they're going like, you understand the difference? You understand the difference? They're going beyond.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They're going beyond.
We never generalized.
Yeah,
we never
Yeah,
generalized.
bro, and I said a lot of them, bro. I try to be respectful. I
try to take our identity.
The facts still remain the
It
same.
doesn't matter if you're white or black.
And
We're attacking
here's one
both.
thing as well.
The general public, when I say Aztec, most people understand Aztec, but yes, us that know the true knowledge, yes. Mexica.
So here's another thing you guys gotta also keep in mind. It's something I noticed. I ain't saying like all black people are saying this, but it's a lot of them, bro. And one thing that I noticed is ever since this situation with Trump started kicking off with ICE and all that, bro. Like I didn't even know that this stuff existed, dude. As much as I did until like the last few months, when it started like getting worse and worse. And you go on these lives, bro. Like, and I first started noticing, like, off the bat, they started talking about what we call ICE or we're gonna deport you guys, blah blah. And I think like it has something to do with that, bro. Honestly, dude.
Well, it don't have nothing to do with that. Black and brown relations haven't been good, period. And you cannot sit and tell me that brown people embrace or like black people and so much on both ends. So it's not one-sided where you could just say it's black people and Trump got in and now we're just fixated on brown people. Before
bro,
Trump,
I see them even do it to like Somalis and like Jamaicans and other people that ain't from here, bro. It's not just even us.
But before Trump, black and brown relationship have not been good. I mean, it's like almost everybody have a sense of whiteness, want to be close to whiteness. Nobody never want to call out whiteness, but they want to call out the other minority groups as we're to call out whiteness at all. And that's the problem. That's the problem between us. Everybody want to beef with everybody, but everybody's scared of the white boogeyman. Everybody don't want to. Nobody want to be like, yo. All our travesties, everything we ever went through, is at the hand of one enemy. But instead of going at him, we'll find the smallest things against the minorities that's going through the same bullshit that everybody going through. We're gonna find this bullshit between the minorities and not like each other. And the white.
Okay, so again, Mary, man, this is where I disagree, right? Because you're pushing this the whole, black Afrocentrist, worldview, right? The whole black supremacist worldview, where you say all white people are bad. The number one enemy is white people, but you can't even generalize all white people like that as well. If you're gonna say that,
I'm not generalizing, bro. But who took your land?
Yeah, you're
gave
saying it right now. Like,
who gave you smallpox? Who put most of y'all on reservations? Who created?
White people are not. Hold on. White people that exist now, they're not responsible for their ancestors' actions.
Man, but you can say that, but the majority voted for Trump to put you out. Most majority voted for Trump.
It doesn't matter. You can't generalize all white people. We got white people in our circle.
I'm talking
and they recognize the oppression that we've experienced, and they're willing to be allies.
Everybody has
racist or colors.
In our civil rights,
we should want to be recognized in politics, right? We want more political representation. We want amnesty for all undocumented Mexican and Latino immigrants. Those are our demands,
bro.
Right? These are what we want. Right, we want reparations for all the damage that has been done with the whole,
and you deserve it.
Racial profiling.
You deserve it. And
we have demands. We're not.
And you deserve it. In all reality, bro, in our cause, our civil rights movement, we had white people fighting alongside of us. So I don't generalize it all. But this is a
but like
it's a whole. Hold on, bro. Hold on. But if you got 1,000, if you have 1,000 snakes in the room, 1,000 venomous snakes, and you got 20 of them non-venomous. Do you let all of them in the room? You say, no, I'm going to leave the door open because I know it's 20 non-venomous snakes, or you shut the door on the whole door on everybody because you don't know which one's going to bite you. That's how I feel about white people. I'm not going to just sit there and say, just because it's 20 non-venomous snakes.
You hate all white people.
I don't hate all white people,
look,
bro.
Hold on, Mayor Man. How many indigenous or Latino presidents has the United States had?
None.
And how many black?
None. One.
Obama. Yeah,
one.
One.
He
exactly.
was mixed. He had to be a
more
mixed
privilege
man.
than us.
He had to be
you guys
a
had more political representation, and Obama deported 3 million Latinos and indigenous people, right? And documented Mexicans and Latinos. So why should we be super soft towards you when recently, under like a few years back, we were getting massively deported, just as what's going on right now with the Trump administration.
Obama actually deported.
Why should we trust white people? Hold on. Why should we trust white people and black people?
Let me explain this.
Speak that racism from both sides. Oh, all white people are bad. Oh, black people are. All black people are bad. No, we're here to be recognized. At the end of the day, we want solidarity. If you're not in the boat with us, then you're in our enemy.
Let me speak on this. Let me speak on this then. All right. Because black people had to fight for the rights. We fought for everything in this country for all minorities to experience. For everything.
But your people didn't do it alone.
Not true.
Our people were with y'all.
Where was y'all?
No,
That
true.
makes me sad that you think that we don't have a civil rights of our own.
Where was y'all in the civil rights?
Okay, hold on. Before anybody rebuttals him, let me say this. Okay, with that statement that you just said right there, okay? I say this with all respect. That is the very issue that the people on this panel and in my community have, because you guys, some of you guys from your community, just like yourself just now, come up on these panels and make blanketed statements talking about our history. And you are very incorrect. And that is a part of the frustration that we have. Therefore, that's why you see the prompt the way that it is. So, that's false. We do have a civil rights movement of our own. You might not be aware of it, but that's not correct.
In the 60s,
we were the ones that started it. Your people took all the credit.
Yeah, we're the ones.
We did too, though.
We desegregated public schools before Brown v. Board of Education. Like our desegregation of public school in Orange County, California, you idiot. It's called Mendez v.1947. Look it up.
You know the Broseros program? Do you know the atrocious history of the Broseros program?
1947, before Brown v. Board of Education. So do your research. We sparked the civil rights movement.
El Paso, Texas. El Paso, Texas has atrocious history prior to the segregation movement, actually. So you should look that up too, and you'll see where Mexicanos had to fight to get across the border just to do honest work in the state of Texas. We have a very broad and deep history in this country. So for you to sit there and say that is asinine. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's not correct, and that's what makes us mad.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to lecture us, saying that they helped us, right? That's the American entitlement, right? The black or white entitlement that some of the people have. We
were a part of it, but we never got any sort of credit. All the credit went to them.
Well, for the Mexican people, we fled to Mexico because we went for everybody.
Right, and we did the Alamo.
And then when it comes
we did the Alamo.
Exactly, Bay Area. You know exactly what I'm talking about. 1917.
You know what we did? We waved the red flag to tell white people we're not taking prisoners, and we unalived all the white people in the Alamo to free black Americans. And this is the kind of respect we're getting. They want to lecture us and say that they helped us. Nah, we helped y'all. The Underground Railroad led to Mexico. Like, nah. You ain't telling us who we are.
The natives, they got it worse than they had.
You're really muffled, Kane. However you say your name, Kane. You're muffled.
You gotta fix your mic.
Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
A little bit more, but it's not the best.
Listen, I'm on both sides of this argument, right? Because, I understand how some people feel, and I understand how people on the other side feel, right? Because, like me, I'm West Indian, my wife is Dominican, we are all like one people. And the thing about it is, the reason why some people or African American, whatever the hell that dude is starting with, whatever they want to identify themselves at, because at the end of the day, you are what you are, right? There was a lot of people in the neighborhoods where we live together, and we fighting people in some neighborhoods, like you have people that are Mexican or Spanish fighting with people that are black.
Thank you.
And that's why the slave master knows how to play the game. He knows how to play the game. That's what a lot of people don't understand. The slave masters, and it's crazy how some of these people say they're intellectuals and intelligent, but they're not reading history. They don't know about how to build a slave. All these books that were written on division and picking out people's differences. This is what we're going through, and it's like, it's just mind-boggling that I'm going through all these channels and it's all the same trash record.
Shout out to whoever did the Galaxy. Shout out everybody put a thumbs up. Comment, someone just dropped a Galaxy.
Where?
It was right there in the comments.
Okay.
It was Nelba.
And my thing about it is, all these dudes talking about blaming this foreign person and that where's their energy for the white people, bro? Like where was these dudes at when we all get dragged out the car the same way? We all get illegally searched and profiled the same way. Like, where is this energy for the slave master, bro?
They don't have none, bro. They love whiteness, bro.
That's not correct.
Wait.
Let's not be silly and say silly things. That's an assumption.
No,
Assumptions don't get anyone anywhere good.
Hold on.
I want
I
to say
just
something
told
to
you.
Kamet. You don't talk about get education or some type of stuff when you come out here saying the Mexican and the Spanish. Sorry, dude, but Spanish, saying the word Spanish, you know that the language is not even called Spanish, it's actually called Castellano, first of all. And Spanish is not Latin America. It's not like there is so many different people down there. You don't even know. So don't even come at me with the uneducation. Your wording alone shows that you don't know.
First of all, what you're talking about. I could battle you any day on history, so don't even start trying to mix words and all that. Where's your highest level of education?
Let's calm down.
It's all false history. You're gonna battle because
Man, where's
you're so
Fidel?
important.
History is a
This is the problem with
deep
history.
thing.
You guys have been told an alternative history from the victor and never really been told our real history. So you're so empowered on fake history. You're empowered on fake news.
What's funny is,
Okay, so to be fair, there's a lot of hidden histories in America.
Why you keep...
y'all been massacred
Y'all
by
keep
white
pointing
people.
the finger at all white people.
Y'all been massacred by white people.
Does that make you feel good to let us know
It's
that?
not, because at the end
Does
of
that
the
make you feel good to let me and these people on the panel know that?
Americans historically allied with...
What I'm saying is, at the end of the day,
people.
y'all just say, y'all beef with black folks.
What about the Spanish-American War?
How do you know that for a fact? How do you know that for a fact?
No place is more racist than the Latin community. Let's be real.
Oh my god, look there, Mira, there's the truth. There we go.
Hey, y'all
The
need to
very
calm
thing
down.
that you were trying to preach to us about is the very thing you're doing.
Okay, you little African booty scratcher.
All right, let me ask you a question. Indigenous people here. Why do y'all
exactly.
act like
You guys hate
victims?
each other.
Y'all act like
I'm not acting like a victim.
But then if y'all can't acknowledge that y'all have racist
Every community has problems. Like, I don't know why put the finger at Latinos now? Like, every community has their own colorism.
If y'all can't say we y'all got racist
Hold on, let's hear him. Let's hear why he thinks we're victims.
y'all it's
Do we complain? Damn.
Yes, you do. At the end of the day,
We don't. We're nothing like y'all.
All I'm saying to you, if you can't see your biases that you have against other people as well, and y'all just act like
and your community doesn't have biases? Is your community saints?
We all do.
Okay, then there we go.
Okay,
there we go.
all do. So acknowledge yours also, though.
We
Don't
do.
act like y'all saints.
No, wait, hold on.
I'm not acting like a
saints.
You guys never acknowledge
That's not true.
I just said we got biases against y'all. I
got out of
just
closet. He said himself. All y'all Latinos.
Okay, but you talk about a lot of the offenses that you have, but you are up here saying that why do we act like victims? And I don't believe that that's a fair statement. Why are you saying that?
Because that's what y'all act like. That's when he said.
How? Do you know me personally? Do you know me in my everyday life?
My man just said.
That's not fair.
Latinos is some of the most racist people. Y'all say, oh, they're.
No, that is y'all. That is not people, not ours.
And not even acknowledging Latinos is racist.
Well, because we disagreed, that means we're victims.
Look at the Dominican.
Yeah, you're Tether.
The Dominican, I don't have any ties to the Dominican Republic because
yeah,
I'm not
racist.
Dominican.
But yeah, you call each other. Yeah, you guys call each other tethers, light skin N-words, all light skin privilege, all your own, like Malcolm X, like if he was right here with us, you would call him out, oh, you have more privilege than me, you light skin, like who are you to tell me who I am? Like, shut the fuck up, bro. There's colorism everywhere. Stop trying to guilt shame us for having a little bit of colorism. Like, cause
that needs to calm down.
Right? Stop pointing the finger. You're guilty as charged. You're guilty as charged as well, so shut your mouths.
You hide the black village in Mexico, bro. You know it's a black village in Mexico.
We hide what? We hide what?
You know there's a black village in
Are
Mexico.
you saying this as a factual statement? Is this factual or is this an opinion?
So if there's not a
very anti-Mexican.
Not a black village in Mexico that's hidden.
But yes, we understand. Yes, that's
black African Mexican.
The Mexican people.
Yes, sir. There is. And I'm acknowledging that.
We have black Mexicans that with African blood that is discriminated.
Por supuesto, senor. There are black Mexicans. There are. Nobody is denying that. What are you talking about?
Are they discriminated?
I'm sure they are. You know why? Because there is racism in this world, sir. It doesn't matter if it's in the Mexican community, the black community, it doesn't matter. It exists.
He's very
anti-Mexican.
What are you trying to get at? You're not making a good.
You big motherfuckers. Fuck all.
Look at that. Mira, look. Eso.
being anti-Mexican married.
Dude, I have a lot of respect for you married. I have a lot of respect for you. But you got out of character.
Here goes misogyny. Don't disrespect indigenous women here on the panel. You're in a Mexican indigenous life. There's safe space for that.
Dude, I thought he could handle having a good combo.
Down to a jail cell. Y'all ride with the white people.
Really? You're bringing up
No, we don't. We ride for our own.
On a panel about history. What the fuck?
We really,
dude, I thought you just said that you could beat any of our asses any day on history, and you're gonna bring up jail cells?
No, sir, we don't go to jail, sir.
That's crazy.
We don't commit the most crimes.
we are hardworking, humble people.
If you're here illegal, what's your point? Do you come hurt us with that?
The Wakanda? I hear black people make this argument all the time. Like, in jail, the Mexicans, the Latinos, they ride with the white people. Well, that's criminal stuff. That has nothing to do
with history or anything. Local.
With the rest of the Latinos or Mexicans.
That's crazy. And then this man just took pride in saying that he could battle Lola any fucking day on history, but then he's gonna go to the fucking jail cells? Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, no, like, we're
absolutely not.
They're mad because the Mexican.
Why are you talking about crime? Why are you talking about prison?
I think they're just mad. It's like an ego thing, man. I think they're mad because the Mexicans have such like a legendary working hard.
Married. Look at what Married's doing again. He's generalizing us.
He said y'all hate that shit.
Why do you have a double
He
standard?
thinks that we're the Venezuelans and the Cubans. They're the main ones that voted for that man. I have a question for you guys though. Like, my actual question is, do you guys acknowledge that our
And a whole bunch of Mexican people voted for Trump.
Hold on, why are you screaming, dude? Talk normal.
Okay,
You don't have to scream.
Chill, why are you screaming?
do you guys believe
Yeah, you're just
that
fine.
Mexicans and
You're getting confused with the Venezuelans and the Cubans. They're a different group of Latinos. We're not responsible for those
The Mexicans have never committed no crime. They're not.
We never said that.
Yeah, the Cubans. There's infighting.
Nobody is
So what's
not
your point?
acknowledging that. That's very factual.
70% of Latino may have voted for Trump. 70%. Get out of
What
here.
does that have
Yeah,
to do with what
Venezuelans
we're
and
talking
Cubans,
about?
not
What does that have
Mexicans,
to do?
stupid.
Y'all want to talk about ICE? Y'all voted against your own people. Shut up.
That has nothing to do
No,
with what
I
we're
just
speaking
speaking
about.
of y'all's people.
Mary, man. Wait, hold up. If we voted for another black person like Kamala Harris, she's gonna do the same shit. Like, what's your point? She's gonna also do mass deportations, like Obama did. Obama didn't stop it. He continued. Yeah, stop. Yeah,
Stop trying to fucking talk shit over here. You're fucking barking up the wrong tree, dumbass.
Yeah, like, it's not about politics, bro.
Let's hear the history that you know. Let's hear the history, Kate.
Sweetheart, what do you eat? You think your people brought stuff from the slave ship? No. We already had shit here.
Not even.
We already
That's
had
besides the
shit
point.
here.
This man
That's
is saying
how-
that he could outdo
that's
us
how you're
all in
still
history.
eating.
I want to hear it.
Dumbass. That's how you're eating, because you're eting our foods. You think cornbread is black? No. It's from our people, the Native Americans.
Now you sound dumb. Now you're generalizing every black person.
Oh, but it's okay for you to generalize.
What?
Why is there a double
You're the one
standard?
talking
You just said all Mexicans.
You're
You said
the one that was
y'all
generalizing
Mexicans
and
voted for
talking so
Trump.
much shit. That's
Why is it okay
the
for
problem.
you to generalize,
You keep
sir,
saying
but
the
not
victim.
everybody else?
Yeah, that talking point, I'm black and I say so, that shouldn't even work.
I'm low educated? Okay. Says the man who's screaming. Says the man who is
Stop pointing that
screaming.
talking point.
I was just another panel.
I don't think I'm white, but okay.
You guys do right away start talking shit, generalizing that we think we're white.
Guys,
We
he
don't
thinks
need
that we're
nobody.
white.
We don't need anybody. We can fucking stand by ourselves because we want to stand with you. You have a fucking problem with it. Just fucking accept it. Just accept it. Just accept it.
Y'all can say whatever y'all want, but the most accepted.
Hold on, dude. Monet, I'm so sorry. How do you say your name? I want to hear what you're saying, but the man below you is screaming his head off.
This is the most accepting people in this country.
Nobody made that claim, though. Nobody made these claims. This man is off on a crazy tangent. He's fighting the air as we speak. Anyways, Moniz, or I'm so sorry. How do you say your name? You can go on.
Thank you. But the question, he's angry because the thing is in our culture, bro, we got people who try to act like white people, and you can't even deny that. We have.
No, of course not. But that's every culture. There's Oreos. There's coconuts.
Exactly.
Where were you born? Where were you born and
I
raised,
was born
Monse?
here in California.
Are you indigenous, Mexican,
Yes, I'm an indigenous
Latina?
Mexican. I'm an indigenous brown Mexican.
Oh, okay, so you're Mexican. Oh, so you're indigenous. Okay, so what's your point?
Like, for you guys to acknowledge that we have that. Because
we have colorism, just like, but I want you, now let me ask you something. I want you to recognize that there's also colorism in the Black American community.
Yeah.
They discriminate each other based on skin tone, like the whole light skin N-word and, African booty scratcher, crispy, oh, you darky, like they talk like this, right? They expose themselves on
He's right about that.
Yeah, there are light-skinned Black Americans who be talking like, oh, in high school I got bullied by, my own dark-skinned people. They will like scream at me and mistreat me, even especially the dark-skinned Black women, because, they get a bunch of attention, right, from the dark-skinned Black brothers. So there's a lot of things going on there. So what's your point? There's colorism everywhere, in the Hindu community, in the Asian community. Asians, they get the surgeries, or they cut their eyes, to make them look more Eurocentric.
Even in the white community, I don't know. If I get on to it, even in the white community, I don't remember, but when that guy, that mustache man existed, he wanted the purest blonde hair, blue eyes. He didn't even want the brunettes or anybody else. You didn't even want to know the talents or nothing. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
So what are you trying to say?
Yeah, everybody has their own like worldview of what's white. Like, do you think Somalians are black? Monse?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't get into other people's culture. So you're over here
That's the whole point. That's the whole point.
Okay. So you don't want to speak.
Okay, let's let her finish.
Other people's culture.
I'm not
You
gonna
want to
speak
come here and put the
There's a
finger
simple
at
way
your
I
own
ask
people.
this, Intrepid. There's a simple way I ask this. If you go to Mexico, what color are the people you see? If you go to Mexico,
Well, I mean,
what color?
obviously,
It's diverse. It's diverse. I'm also see copper skin, beautiful
What's
copper
the
skin.
overwhelming majority in Mexico?
Majority white, brown, or black.
Yeah,
If you go to
brown.
Mexico,
More copper.
you got
brown, right? Most logical people are gonna say brown.
Yeah. I mean, I look like it. I got my whole family. I got my family that's mixed up with white and brown, bro. So it's not like I'm not dumb and I'm not aware of it. But you can't come and speak on another culture when you haven't experienced it. They're over here.
What are you
Oh,
talking
that's
about?
crazy. Wait, what?
Hold on. What are you trying to say? Experience what? What happened we experienced?
Well, I mean, there's a whole different experience from what a
Hold on.
black
Let her talk. Let her talk. What happened we experienced?
What happened?
There's a whole different experience when a black person experiences and what we experience. We have both two different experiences here in America.
Nobody is saying that, but what we happen to experience?
What did you experience? Tu abuelita, ¿qué te dijo? ¿Qué te dijo esa cabrona? ¿Qué te dijo tu abuelita?
What does that
Well,
mean?
my experience is
Tell us what happened. You're saying that we're colorists.
Imagine how this feels.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Have Mexicans ever been
I think it's a person that
Let me show you.
Hold on. One at a time. One at a time, guys.
Monse, have Mexicans ever been enslaved?
Yeah, they have.
Have Mexicans ever had their identities torn out, meaning like they had their language changed or the religions changed from the original?
Yeah.
Have Mexicans ever been oppressed by a government?
Yes, they have.
Okay, so what happened when we experienced?
That's pretty disingenuous.
Yeah, tell us. Yeah, because you said you came on the panel and you point the finger at us. Oh, there's colorism in our community. Okay, so what happened in your family that made you say that?
Y'all are over here, throwing crap in their face and saying all this. Just exactly the same that we've gone through our experience.
No, senora, that's not true. These two men were up here making blanketed statements, trying to speak on things that they have no idea. Okay, maybe you don't even know yourself, but these people are trying to talk about history, okay, the basics, okay? There's a lot of history that's hidden in our country, specified to our history as Mexicanos, okay? These two men came up here and tried to say that we did not have a civil rights movement of our own. Do you know how insensitive and disgusting that is? For them to come over here and try to make those generalizations about our people and our deep history within this country, this continent itself? I mean, you're dealing with ignoramuses. They're making stupid statements. You can't have it both ways. I'm sorry. I can't agree with you on that.
Can I ask a question to the panel real quick? Is the current topic of discussion in relation to the host's image, where it's accusing black people of stealing like Latin American culture and history?
No, we're talking about the people.
Okay, so the prom you can portray it however you want. For me, I just see a black American. For you, you can see like all black people. I don't know. Anybody can perceive that prompt, in their own way. I don't know. So I have no problem with that prompt because we're responding to these pretendians and wabos who look like black Americans, right? And then we're also encountering these white supremacists, right? Who say that oh, we took your land and all that stuff, right? And you have no say in anything. So we're responding to those people. Now, if you don't agree with those people, then fine. We're cool. We can have solidarity. We don't hate white people or black people.
Have you guys ever heard of the organization Turning Point?
Yeah, everyone has.
Okay. So I don't know if you knew this, bro, but you can look it up. It's on video. They literally said they apparently they didn't take enough land during the Mexican-American War. More of Mexican land should belong to Arizona. They said this on camera, and we're laughing about it.
Yeah, it's not really that surprising.
So these things are real and they're happening. And the thing is, people laugh at it, don't think it's serious until something comes of it. You said why we gotta react.
I mean, so Christian, I have a question for you, bro.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is like they made a sort of like imperialistic, like I guess I don't know if they were joking or like this statement, right? Like, hey, we should have took more land.
Yes.
And what about when Latinos say like like we're gonna retake this land from the U.S. or like, because to me the ideal thing would be that like all of Central America would be a part of Mexico. Like I would want all of that.
Yeah. So the thing to me is, remember, the ones that currently control the nation and have the money and resources to do anything, like actually take somebody's land. Let's be honest, you guys. It right now currently is not us. So when these people say things like that, it is dangerous. It's very dangerous because there are people out there that are supporting this. There's people out there marching right now that before wouldn't even march openly. That are white supremacists, like the Proud Boys, right? They're openly marching now. And a lot of them are being recruited into ICE. A lot of them are being recruited by this president that is ignoring the laws. So yeah, it's very dangerous, and it is irresponsible to just ignore it or dismiss it.
Christian, to be fair, hold on a second. To be fair, you guys know percentage like of the FBAs, not even just Black Americans of FBAs. The vast majority of FBAs and the terminology of FBA is and has always been a foundation of Black American, i.e., to solidify the identity of the Black American, the freedman. And the Constitution doesn't refer to Black people or slaves or Negroes. It says freedmen, i.e., it solidifies the identity of the Black American as an American. Okay, so you guys just trying to pin like, and I'm not blaming you guys.
But it's not necessarily about that. It's a simple rebuttal because we are on TikTok. Are you not on TikTok?
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, but my point is that
you made it seem like it's not becoming widespread. That's actually false, man. Because your language you use right now is making it seem dismissive. It's growing, bro.
Hold on, I think you're minimizing things, and you're like painting this like narrative where like you want people to believe that a small percentage of people cannot cause a huge impact, and I don't think that's how it works, man.
That's not what I'm saying. So, for example, what I'm saying is
guys, the point is this:
they do this with every group. Right? They take a small percentage and they cover it. They mass coverage it to make it seem like it's a wider population. That's not
so let's ignore it because I don't know if you realize. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna shut up, bro.
Is what matters.
Yeah.
Whether you like the truth or not, the pursuit of truth is what's honorable and worthy. The truth is what matters, and the truth is a lot of things that they're saying is not true. They're not.
Factually.
They don't own our pyramids. They never built our pyramids. The ancient tribes of Mexico built the pyramids. A lot of things. So if someone's not speaking the truth, you have to learn your history, your real history, and be more intelligent than these people that are trying to use tactics, use schemes and scams to gain power and things like that. What matters is standing on truth.
Look, I'm not gonna.
Whether you like it or not, whether you like the truth or not, the truth is what matters. The truth is the truth.
We literally just had a whole tribe get federally recognized that has barely any Native American admixture in them, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is affecting us, and it's already affecting several people. We had a panel a couple of days ago, bro, and it was literally a lot of them attacking some natives that are federally recognized in the U.S. that were Lakota, that were Navajo on the panel. They were getting attacked by these guys, saying that they're the legitimate natives, man. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm not saying that it isn't an existing thing. I'm just saying that it's not it's not a bigger. It's not like a large population of the
big enough to change the law. They got their recognition.
And other things.
But there are people that know the truth, and they're just explaining the truth, brother, because the truth is what matters at the end of the day. I mean, what the fuck would the point of this world be?
And after all, we are on TikTok too. TikTok is where we're seeing these prompts. It's okay to rebuttal. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're on TikTok, that's what happens here on this app. So nobody should be taking offense to it, to be honest.
Yeah. Like, bro,
you're here at your free will. You're here on this panel for free will.
For example, I've heard like 5 or 6 different interpretations from totally races and groups on this pyramid in my picture alone. I've heard some of the craziest interpretations and twists and stealing of this pyramid's meaning that I've ever heard in my life. When I actually, like, so if there's people that actually know the true meaning of this pyramid and they hear somebody explaining false information and they know the truth and they go to explain the truth, that doesn't make that person wrong. That makes that person a hero because they're explaining the truth.
Well, and if we're having a rebuttal, it doesn't make us a racist either. So.
Yeah, I mean, I was going there, but at the same time, it's like if there's a group of people claiming that this Mexican pyramid is their pyramid and they don't have any family members from Mexico or in their bloodline of Mexicans.
Oh yeah, big facts.
Also racist as well. That's racist on their part.
So actually, it's erasure. It's insulting.
I don't think the whole race, like Mexicans or like Latin Americans being racist, I don't think it comes from that. I think it's something much deeper and like much more extensive than that. That's not really. No one's calling you racist because of like this whole pretendian thing. It's because of like actual racism, right? So it's not because of that. But it's
Marvel, are you Mexican?
Who's on the racist?
Can I ask you a question, Marvel? Can I ask you a question? What's your background, dude? I mean, I'm trying to understand.
Are you Mexican? Are you Mexican, indigenous?
I'm not Mexican or indigenous or any of that. No, I'm black.
Okay, so how would you know that,
that there's racism, like in Latin America?
How would you know? How would you know that it's the reason why black people are calling us racist because it's actual racism, and not because we're just trying to defend our community and gatekeep our culture?
Because I'm saying that like the accusation that Latin America is racist doesn't stem from this conversation. I'm saying it stems from a broader.
Okay. Yeah, I can agree with that. To be honest.
Okay, marvelous expert. Right? Can I ask you one quick? Do you think that there's racism or even intertribal conflict or even the unalivings in Africa between different tribes over there?
Yeah, but I don't see the relevance.
Okay, so I used to be in the military, right? And I'll tell you one thing right now. We used to have briefings all the time, at least once a week, right? And in Africa, bro, they will kill each other because of they believe, even though they look exactly the same to us, between themselves, hold up, between themselves, there was different tribal groups that would hate each other because of their perceived ethnicities. So this whole thing of saying there's racism in Latin America against, bro, there's racism everywhere.
So right? First of all,
the whole argument is facetious.
I really don't think out of everyone you should be using this argument because this is the exact same line of argumentation that.
Why? I mean,
hold on a second. This is the exact same line of argumentation they used to justify the colonization of America.
But hold on, it kind of sounded like you just said that to us just now. You said it because it's much deeper. You said it was much deeper than what we're doing on this panel here.
What I'm saying, I made a very clear claim. My statement was that when black people say that Latin America is racist, they're not saying Latin America is racist because they are not accepting that I am a Native American. They're saying that Latin America is racist because they have a very deep and rooted history of systemically discriminating, oppressing, and subjugating black people in Latin America.
No.
Right, and I was catching that.
What? Hold up, so how is one argument valid and not the other one? Right, because the last time I checked, in Africa they've been killing each other over religion, over ethnicity, over tribal affiliation.
Because
what are you saying on live?
Because that's something that happens. That's something that happens everywhere. Like Europe.
Exactly. So why are you only putting it on Latin America?
What racism is, right? Is that if
what is racism?
Yeah. So racism is the act of discrimination, prejudice, or like some sort of discrimination or prejudice on the basis of race. To some definitions will include ethnicity, but the issue is the difference.
Ethnicity, right?
Yeah. So the difference is
okay.
Is that
in
Latin America? Hold on a second. In Latin America, what they did in Argentina, in different, like in Brazil, in different countries.
Do you speak Spanish? Wait, hold on. You want to go deep in Latin America? You want to lecture us Latinos on our history? Yeah. So do you know Spanish?
Oh no, hold on a second. It's not just your. It's not.
Okay. I just want to add that. Notice, right? This man right here doesn't even know a lick of Spanish, and he's telling a whole panel of Latinos on our own fucking history, on our own history and lineage.
Do you disagree?
So go ahead.
Wait, I'm not speaking on your history. I'm speaking on history in
Are you
regards
saying
to
that there's no discrimination? Hold on. Are you saying that there's never been a single act of violence or discrimination from the black community in the U.S. only? I'm only going to talk about the U.S. Are you saying that there's never been an act of violence or discrimination by the black community on Hispanics?
Thank you for asking that.
Never?
Never been. Hold on.
Never.
There's never.
Are you sure about that?
Let me be clear. There's never been a policy or a
Oh my
systematic,
God, dude! Come on,
effort
bro.
That's crazy.
to subjugate or to subjugate or discriminate Mexicans.
We're not being subjugated.
Really? That's infuriating that you just said that, because clearly you know nothing about the treaties that we've gone through. You know nothing about how the Southwest was gained. You know nothing about the borders. That is insane and so wrong for you to say. How dare you?
Buffalo soldiers. Hold up.
How dare you?
Were the Buffalo soldiers that unalived the Apache? Were they not African American?
I'm saying those are shoulders. I'm saying that.
Were they not?
I'm saying government policy. There's no black.
They were police.
He's trying to deviate.
It doesn't matter. The facts are the facts of
That was my
history.
position from the start. Argentina literally
It doesn't erase what has happened.
Okay, so wait, hold on. Argentina, there's a lot of Asians trapped in Argentina.
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm like
Yeah,
talking
there
to
are
like
Asians Argentinians.
I'm talking
Yeah, but Argentina is
Black people. There's never been any policy in the USA pushed by Mexican Americans to systemically oppress black people in the U.S.
I never made the claim in the U.S. I made the claim that in Latin America.
So Latin America is racist against black people.
Not black.
Okay, but hold
Well,
on.
Mexico is a part of Latin America, so.
You gotta let me talk.
Hold on, Maru. There's something that you kind of like not understanding. So, in Mexico, right, most of the racism is not against Afro Mexicans because they just make up a very small percentage of the Mexican population. In Mexico, most of the racism happens amongst towards indigenous people and amongst mestizos, amongst
Each other.
right.
Yeah.
So it's not towards the Afro, and the same goes for a lot of other countries where Black Latinos make up a small percentage of the population.
I mean, look, I never made the claim because I don't know if Mexico did this or not, so I never made the claim they did. I'm saying particularly Brazil and Argentina, they passed policies to literally whiten their population by importing European.
We're not Brazil.
That's crazy. That's far away
Hold
from.
on. What's your source? Yeah, wait. What's your source? Where are you getting this information?
You guys don't
Hold
know
on.
this.
The thing about it.
Okay, that's a wild claim, bro.
You're
back it up.
Hold on.
I disagree. I don't think there's a lot of race mixing going on in Argentina and Brazil.
Christian,
Yes, but the whole point is
Brazilians are mixed race. They're part
let me
African,
just respond to Christian.
part Portuguese, indigenous.
Christian.
They have a
Hey,
culture.
Jumpin' Jaguar, hold on, bro. You're literally generalizing all of Latin America like as if we're all the same, bro.
I never generalized.
Yes, you are.
I literally just said I'm not talking about Mexico because
Okay, but you can't bring that to the table here because we are Mexicanos. The majority here on this panel are Mexicanos. We've been talking about that this entire time.
I'm saying very clearly, okay? I said very clearly that in Latin America, there are definitely...
Okay, well, that is
Exactly.
that
That's the
here
whole
at the
thing.
table.
You're generalizing right there.
I said in Latin America, there's a deep-rooted history of racism.
Okay, if there's a problem in Italy, bro, and I say all of Europe has a fucking problem with something, does that mean that fucking the whole Europe has it, not Italy? Come on, bro. Like, know what you're talking about before you make a generalization, dude.
Wait, repeat what you said?
You're making a generalization. You're equating all of Latin America. All of Latin America.
You're bringing up policies that are non-motherfucking factor to this part of the continent.
Yeah, so
Wait, hold on, Marvel, do you have any Brazilian friends?
When I said
That's my check next
Do
to
you have Brazilian friends?
Wait, I never
know anybody that's in
I
Brazil?
never made a generalization. I very specifically
You
said
just did.
not including Mexico because I don't know that. I gave examples that in Argentina, in Brazil, they passed policies. They had policies. They
Okay,
had
so what does that have to
What's
do
your
with
source?
the
What's your
table?
source? Can you give us a source?
Stop acting. Here's
What's
the
your
thing. Stop asking.
source?
Why are you guys asking for sources, bro? Like, check this out.
So he's bringing up shit that happened once upon a time with a particular group of people, right, in a particular era. Those times are no longer here. People don't practice that shit. Now, I've been saying this from the beginning. Whenever they talk about these things, you guys miss the bigger picture. You guys give in and you start giving them explanations. They don't deserve our fucking explanations. They're fucking nobodies. Okay, these guys are usually the people from North America. It's the brainwashed, the cuck, Latino cuck Americans, people that don't have an identity or anything going for themselves. And then you have the Black Americans that are pushing this. Why are they fucking worried about what is happening in Latin America? Why? They're trying to make you guys submissive. They're trying to guilt shame you. They're trying to make you feel bad, and they're trying to get you to take a knee for Black people. They're trying to make you submissive. This is what it's all about. And the feminists are helping them by degrading and pretty much shitting on the Latino men, in particularly the Mexican. They will call you misogynist. They will call you anti-Black because they're trying to break you down. And it's a group of, not all of them, but it's a group of Black people that are pushing this because they're trying to destroy the males because they want to take over your culture with their new label, Black. They want to take over everything that you have politically. They want to use your numbers for their own political and social gains. So stop giving them explanation because that makes you look guilty. Start asking, what does this have to do with today? Why are you doing this? Why are you guilt shaming us? When nobody practices all those things that we practice, that they used to practice back in the day, nobody does that. And the reason why they're getting away with it and they brainwash a lot of Latinos is because, sadly, some of our people are just fucking illiterate when it comes to their history and their contributions, and they know that. They've studied you. They know what you know and what you don't know. They know your strengths and your weaknesses, and your weakness is lack of education. And they're capitalizing on that shit, on your ignorance.
Can I ask you a question, Fidel? Can I ask you a question? So to be clear, right, does that mean that you don't ever bring up any sort of historical injustice that your people faced at the hands of white people? You don't bring that up when you're talking about.
When I talk about what are you talking about?
When you're talking to a white person that you ideologically disagree with, right, and they're bringing up their nation, their history of dominance, you don't ever bring up.
It depends on the context. If we're talking about historical events that happened once upon a time in history, sure, I'm gonna either clarify or make a correction. But for me to take something that happened a long time ago and bring it and present it in present times and try to manipulate people, try to guilt shame people, that's a whole different thing.
No one's guilt shaming. I'm not guilt shaming anyone.
That's what you've been doing the whole time. Of course it is. Now you're just gonna deflect and you're gonna gaslight.
You know one thing I noticed about you, man, listening to you talk, you like to dance around the goal. You like to make a statement, and then when we throw it back at you, you like to well, that doesn't apply to me. That's not what I'm saying.
No, forget about that. He brings up non-motherfucking factors that have to do with what we're even talking about. That's why I told him, why are you bringing this to this table? That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Brazil and Argentina have nothing to do on this part of the continent. We're not even a part of that continent, to be honest.
America, man. Come on, bro.
To be clear,
you yourself said, well, I don't know, quote, if Mexico is a part of this type of policy or not. So it sounds like you know what you were doing. Don't go there.
Hold on. There's indigenous. We're not gonna disown Argentinians and Brazilians. There's a lot of indigenous people.
Yes, but right now, in the
Brazil.
That's not what I'm saying, though. I'm not saying to disown them.
Hold on.
That's not what I'm saying.
Except for Jaguar,
this guy doesn't even know a lick of Spanish. No. This guy doesn't even know a lick of Spanish, and he's trying to lecture us.
That's what we're saying.
But he's trying to throw policies in our face that have nothing to do with the African American community. He yourself said, well, I don't know, quote, if Mexico is a part of this type of policy or not. So it sounds like you know what you were doing. Don't go there.
Hold on. There's indigenous. We're not gonna disown Argentinians and Brazilians. There's a lot of indigenous people.
Yes, but right now,
That's not what I'm saying, though. I'm not saying to disown them. That's not what I'm saying.
gonna like abandon
Except for
it.
Jaguar, nobody's disputing.
This guy doesn't even know a lick of Spanish. No. This guy doesn't even know a lick of Spanish, and he's trying to lecture us.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah, but he's trying to throw policies in our face that have nothing to do with the African American community here amongst our community here.
Except for Jaguar. It's a whole different continent. Even if they're having
He's trying to get us with bullshit other semantics. That's not what that's about.
No, but that's what he wants. He wants to divide the indigenous community.
Right, and he can't do that.
With all indigenous people.
Wait.
Yeah, so
they're trying
this guy's a
to divide.
How am I trying to divide?
They're not only trying to divide them, but they're trying to divide. They're trying to divide the Latino community by pitting us against historical. What he's doing is he's opening past historical traumas, right? And they know certain people here, they're going to get triggered, right? And they're going to awaken different emotions, anger, resentment, stuff like that, right? And they're trying to get them, the brown-skinned Latinos, they're trying to get them to hate the mestizo. And if we listen to somebody like Ricardo Ignacio, he constantly talks about, and other people like Jesus and I talk about the mestizo, like with this kind of like almost dislike or hatred, right? Now you guys have to ask yourself the question: where does this come from? Does it come from our community? No, it comes from the left side of the African American and the white liberal community. That's where it's coming from.
Yeah,
people have been indoctrinated.
Yeah,
it comes from white and black people in the United States. For the most part,
black people. Fidel saying this true because lately there's been an infection of the woke mentality in Mexico. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with that, but that what he's saying is very true.
Yes, it is true that the United States is no longer the United States is no longer going to conquer Latin America with missiles and bullets. They're going to conquer them through culture. They're going to just let me give you an example. And I know some people don't get pissed off at me. I'm not saying whether or not Claudia Sheinbaum is a good president or not. I'm just going to point out facts and observations based on facts. Okay. Now, this woke culture has invaded Latin America. We're going to take Mexico. When the President Sheinbaum was governor of New Mexico, of Mexico City in Mexico, guess what happened? For the first time ever in that city, under the mayorship of Claudia Sheinbaum, there was the first transgender clinic to be opened. So we have a lot of that going on, a lot of acceptance. Now, I have nothing against the gay community or anything like that, but LGBTQ, as mentioned by people from that gay community, they've said that a lot of them don't fuck with that ideology, Yeah, sure, they're from, the gay community, but even some of them don't stand with the bullshit, right? So you have that. You have the feminism, too, going around in Mexico, trying to fucking cut the balls off of every fucking Mexican man out there. Apparently, there's a law that they just passed that a woman has the right to pew a man if she feels that her life is threatened right now. They're going to start taking Mexican men out. Is that what's going to be? So, yeah, definitely the United States has already infiltrated Latin America. Bukele. I love Bukele because he's fucking based as fuck, and he said no to Afrocentrism. He said no to gender ideology. He said no to all this bullshit that's infecting the minds of our people here, our kids in the United States.
What's Afrocentrism? When he said no to Afrocentrism.
Afrocentrism. So I have lots of Brazilian friends, and they are of African descent. They have some African in them, and they openly say, these Afrocentrists are trying to take my culture away from me. They want me to identify as just black. They want to push this weird one-drop rule that came from the United States, right? And they're trying to take my culture away from me and trying to make me have this inferiority towards them, and to just lie to myself and hate myself and be a slave towards, these full-blood black Americans, right? That's what they tell me. So that's the problem with Afrocentrism, because it really does make people hate themselves, right? There's nothing wrong with being mixed race, right? But most Brazilians, they're mixed race, right? All three, just like the Dominicans. They have the African, indigenous, and the European, and there's nothing wrong with that. And they have a culture. They're not like the average Black American, right? I'm not gonna generalize, but they're not the Afrocentrists who want to push this skin color ideology, right? Who and just identify as a skin color and refuse to claim that they're just Americans, right, or United Statesians, right? If you're born and raised in the United States, you're a United Statesian. This is how Brazilians see you. They don't care about your skin color. They don't care about how you look. you know, they care about your country and where you're from and your culture, right? That's what they care about. But, you know, there's a lot of, you know, self-hatred between some United Statesians, right? The black ones, some of them. And they want to push the Afrocentrism.
I mean, look, I don't think that claiming Brazilian or any Latin American culture as black culture is good. You know, that was my position from the start. I never said that, you know, black people built the you know, they were the Aztec Empire or anything. I'm not saying that, right? What I'm saying is very clear, which is that my first position was that black people en masse are not trying to claim other people's cultures or religions. Okay, we don't have time to deal with that or trying to do that. Okay, you're talking about a very small subset of a subset.
They are.
Yeah. So in
Yeah, look at the
Colombia,
Dominicans. Me no black, I'm Dominican. Me no black, I'm Dominican. That came from Afrocentrists. The Dominicans.
Well, let me tell you. Okay, so let me explain something to this. Hold on, guys. Let me explain to him something where the danger lies, right? So it could be a handful of people. It could be 10 people. It could be 100 people from the African American community. But this is what happened. So this is where the problem is at. The problem is that it's not the quantity of people, but it's the reach of their misinformation. And we understand that in social media, black people, whether it's only a group of 5 or 100, they have an enormous reach and influence. How? They're allowed to some way, somehow. But the problem isn't the amount of people. It's that our people are being misinformed and, yes, literally indoctrinated with their misinformation. Now, let me ask you this question. Are you African American or are you Latino?
I'm like African Canadian. I'm Canadian.
You're from Africa, and you were born. I mean, you're what? You live in Canada? Is that the case?
I was born in Canada.
You were born in Canada.
Okay, so
Marvel,
you do realize Canadian. Oh, okay, so you're Canadian African, right? You do realize FBAs are gonna call you a tether.
What?
They're gonna call you a tether.
Yeah,
FBAs. If we got a lot of followers who are FBAs, they're gonna pull up and call you a tether, trying to speak for them. So I wouldn't be trying to speak for Black Americans.
I've dealt with a lot of. I've dealt with that. So I've talked to actual.
Yeah, I'm sure.
FBAs.
Yeah, there's a lot of infighting in your community.
Hold on, I've talked with like actual FBAs, and then I've talked with like those people. Like those people are like my look, I'm not gonna speak about the FBAs when they're not here. But just to be clear, like that's why I said the term FBA is currently under sort of gentrification.
We know why.
You know, it's sort of under like
we're changing the topic too much, huh? We're going against your narrative.
What narrative? No,
that's why you want to change the topic.
No, I'm saying I'm just not going to speak on their behalf if they're, you know.
Man,
because we're changing the narrative. Why is there a Canadian contradiction?
Why won't you speak on what the FBA say on their claims and allegations on our people?
Because he's a Canadian, he doesn't understand it. He has nothing. He has literally no understanding of what's going on.
Okay, that's not Lucci. Okay, hold on. Listen. I'm just saying. Hold on, real quick. You know, what he said, what Rosales said is valid. He has no understanding, right? So why was he equating and making these assumptions on Latin America?
So I never said that I don't have an understanding. I just don't. Like, it's kind of weird to talk about it when they're not here, you know.
I'm from South America.
Who gives a fuck if they're not?
Oh, okay. Whatever you say. Yeah, no, who cares? Who cares?
Why are you giving so much importance to FBA people?
You know, the word of the term, you know, it's actually it's a real term. And the sort of principles behind FBA and how it was originally thought about it, the philosophy.
Well, that's not on us for how they act. That's how they act. That's how they're presented.
Wait, so hold on. I'm Mexican, right? Look, Marvel. Oh my God, you expose yourself. Mexicans, you know, there's Mexicans that grew up around FBAs, right? Texas, California. You know, I grew up around South Central. I grew up around FBAs. Like, I have more say about what they think and shit like that than you. Like, you're Canadian. Like, you never even... Have you met an FBA? And like...
Yeah, so that's like saying I have more to say about, like, Europe.
No, why? Yes. He hasn't, because he doesn't live here. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
He has nothing to base it on. That, we're not going to accept that, because, no. You're not even in this country itself. So, I'm sorry.
I'll make my point very clear. It's that FBA, the underlying principles, right?
What are the principles of the FBA?
Yeah, which is that it's to solidify the identity, right? The identity of the Black American in relation to like the identity of like what it means to be an American history, American culture. You know, Black Americans were foundational to the creation of America. They were there prior to its inception.
Right, but that's not the narrative that's being pushed here in the U.S. of A. currently. I'm so sorry, but that's the problem.
Have you read up on like what like actual?
No, I have no desire to. All I'm going off is an experience.
So that's like culture. Like you like sort of like just like
Marvelous expert. We experience. What are you talking about, bro? We hear what they say.
So like that's what I mean when I say
what you're saying is all politically correct. You want to sound good. You want to sound professional, smart. I take it, bro. You sound like a smart guy, but you're trying to defend something like literally, bro. Like you hear people talk.
I'm not gonna lie,
bro. It's indefensible. What they're saying is indefensible, and you know that. That's why you're pussyfooting around it.
Bro, it's like I'm saying that it's not the majority of the FBA. I'm not talking about Black Americans. I'm saying like the majority of FBAs don't think like what you're portraying them to be. That's what I'm saying. I was like, if I take a small subset of any sort of extreme ideology,
it's a lineage, right? There is a lineage of Black Americans or African Americans who've been traced back their ancestry to chattel slavery, in the British 13 colonies. Those are the FBAs, right? And yeah, us Mexicans, we grew up around them all the time. We fight each other. But you're Canadian. Have you met an FBA? Like what?
In person?
Yeah, so I have like family.
Like what?
Yeah, I talk to FBAs all the time.
Yeah.
And what do you think about what they have to say?
You talk to them? Yeah, you talk to them. Bro, Mexicans, we grew up with them.
I mean, bro, it's like...
We grew up with them. We know about FBAs more than you.
About the complexities of racism.
You're a tether. Did you know they'll call you a tether? Yeah, they'll call you a tether.
Again, I'm not talking about...
they'll call you a tether.
What you're talking about, right? You're talking about like an extreme subset.
No, that's their word.
Bro,
they use that word. They call you a tether.
Bro. Like, accept the reality for what it is.
Because I know, like...
You wanted to bring up earlier about Brazil and Argentina on the whole other side of the world.
Yeah.
And then you over here pussyfooting about claiming to know about FBAs, but then you say, oh, well, I haven't around them. Come on, bro.
Can I say something about that?
Speak for your own community.
I want to teach you something.
Just speak for your own community.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, Lola.
You're embarrassing yourself, bro. Just speak for Canadians.
Sir, Marvelous, I think I'm saying your name right, about you talking divided continents, North America and South America. I want to let you know I'm a polyglot, and that only exists in the English language. Any other language that talks about America in their brains, it's a whole continent. That whole rhetoric of how there is two continents and all that it's only solely for those who speak English, so that you know. So if you don't speak another language, you will not understand the facts of what it does to people that have been born or have been around the other side of linguistics, historical situations.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can respect that. Yeah.
Who's this guy Tanner? Because he was trying to bait me to go on
first off, you asked me who my name is.
Yeah, bro, you keep trying to
Christian. Hey, look, you got packed up. Stop crying.
I mean, hey, this guy's FBA. Ask him, are you FBA?
I'm not FBA, brother.
Yeah, sorry.
You were telling me to bring receipts.
Yeah, Marvel, you're embarrassing yourself. Just shut up, bro.
Christian, you can do it.
At this point, stop. Speak about Canadian issues. We're gonna give you the pat on the head, bro. Like, bro, we're here in the United States right now. Stop trying to speak for United States issues.
Well, at least let him hear what Tanner has to say, so he knows what we're talking about.
No, I'm just responding to this guy. He just mentioned my name.
I did.
I mean, it's pretty weird to say that like you as a Mexican have more claim to like Black people than me because you like live in the same country as them. You know, it's
coming in contact with them every day.
Yeah. We were born in. I was born and raised in the United States. Just like I grew up.
Wait, let's break this down real quick. So I'm Puerto Rican.
It's not a race. It's not about race. It's about culture,
I'm
right?
closer to Black Americans than you are. You're a Canadian. You're not even close to us in any way, shape, or form. The other, like, maybe at the very least, maybe like approximately like 250 years ago, when Britain also like owned the land. But Canadians were the pussies that continuously submitted themselves to the Europeans. They didn't fight back. They were given alleged freedom, and yet the Prime Minister of Canada, well, the previous Prime Minister, was literally begging for Britain's support.
Like, I'm not gonna go into why.
Fucking pathetic, bro.
I mean, do you know why, like, George Washington?
And this has nothing to do with like black or white. This has to do with Canadians being fucking pathetic.
Wait,
and
you're Hispanic.
Little bitches of Britain.
Do you know why? Like, do you know why George Washington wanted independence? Like, you know why they fought for it? It's because like Britain like prevented them from expanding to the west, like decimating all of the like native people there, right? So like you're bragging about like America fighting for independence, but they fought for independence so they could decimate the west, like the western population.
You know what's funny about this? Like Britain,
that's literally what they did.
Britain was so restrictive that they literally went all the way to fucking what? Hong Kong.
What?
Explain Hong Kong.
I'm not very literate about Hong Kong.
Exactly. So mind your mouth, okay, Canadian. Know your place among like Latinos that actually know the history of the fucking people that you are even associated with. This is ridiculous, bro. Canadians don't know their history. They don't even know anything about their own politics. The fact of the matter is, black Americans don't even know their own history when it comes to their own fucking bloodline when it comes to Africa. What part of Africa are you from?
That's wild. I'm from Senegal.
What part of you're from Senegal?
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't you in Senegal?
I visited.
Why aren't you in Senegal?
Dude, I visited. I'm Canadian.
I don't care if you're visiting Senegal. Why aren't you in Senegal?
That's like asking. That's like asking like a Hispanic person in America why aren't they in.
I am an indigenous American. I can go throughout any part of this land, from Canada down to fucking Peru.
No mames, güey.
This is my people's fucking bloodline. This is my people's fucking land. This is not African land. This is not European land. This is not Asian land. I may be mixed race, right? I am part African. I'm part indigenous American. I'm part European. But the fact of the matter is, you guys need to fucking get a fucking clue. Canadians speak about fucking progressivism, but the fact of the matter is, you guys don't even give a fuck about your own First Nations.
Let's go.
As you call them First Nations, right?
Mm.
That's the Canadian rhetoric.
Yeah.
So
Since we actually
don't play that.
Yeah, Senegalese, they attack. There's a lot of Senegalese that attack FBAs, right? I've heard that. Like, they be saying, like, oh, me no black, I'm Senegalese, right?
I don't think.
There's a lot of infighting between them.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Senegalese people en masse on the internet do not fight FBAs. That's not a thing. The culture war in the black diaspora is not between Senegalese people and like FBAs. That's not.
This is why.
Yeah, but FBAs, they do come in. FBAs, they do come in, and they say African immigrants. Like, oh, y'all African immigrants. Why do they say that?
Because they're
like, oh, all y'all African immigrants, y'all come over here and disrespect us. You call us lazy and all that stuff.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely
She doesn't love
diasporas.
So you get my point. Okay, like you came up. First of all, you came up on the panel, right? You pointed the finger at us Latinos for being colorist, racist, but there's a lot of infighting in your own black diaspora. So what's your point again? Like, you see what let me anti-Latino. Anti-Latino.
Wait. I want to ask Rwanda. In your black Canadian group of people, do you guys reject mixed race people? Like mulattoes, for example.
Do black Canadians reject?
Yes, do black Canadians reject mulattoes, mixed race people that are black and white?
I don't think so. There's different communities. Okay,
but FBA does. That's like that's a huge distinction that you need to understand. FBA will literally reject somebody if they're half white.
Yeah, so like FBA,
half indigenous, half Asian, because FBAs are fucking racist.
Marvel, I got a question for Marvel. As a so-called black Canadian, how come you Canadians descended from Africa or with African descent, how come you guys don't come up with your own term? Why do you guys have to copy an African American label? Don't you guys have a thing of your own?
Black Canadians don't typically use the term FBA.
No, I'm talking about black.
Black. How come you don't just say you're Senegalese?
That's an English term. I mean, last time I checked, I guess using an Anglo term.
Yeah, so Canada came from two different, incepted from two different sects of Europeans, which was the Anglo-Saxons and then the French. So there's two different. It wasn't just the Anglo-Saxon and it wasn't just the French, right? So I don't really know what you mean when you say it was just English. I don't.
I can answer that. Itself is something that's been popularized and been promoted in the Black community in the United States, not in Canada. I'm just wondering, how did you come to submit yourself to that label?
So the racial category of Black wasn't created by Black people, right? It was created by.
I never said it was created by them.
Yeah, so that if it wasn't created by them,
it's being pushed.
it was obviously applied to Black Canadians as well. It was applied to everybody, right? So everybody was Black, right? So it's like it's not that we're taking a turn. It's just and like Canada's like the Black community in Canada is a little bit different than the Black community in America. But we don't call ourselves FBA.
Yeah, I would imagine too.
But my thing is with the FBA, if you actually know the literature and the history behind what it means, it is again to solidify an identity, right? And that's
so you're pro FBA. So what you're saying is you're pro FBA because you keep seeming to defend the fundamentals, and when I ask you what the fundamentals are, you're saying that you have nothing to say about it.
So the fundamentals of
what are the fundamentals?
The fundamentals of FBA is that it is a term that is used to sort of identify what a Black person is, which is in America, which is a person that has lineage to the slaves, and that is foundational to the creation, to the culture, and to the history of America, solidifying again their identity as Americans, right?
But you're not even American, so why are you pushing this narrative so hard for yourself?
First of all,
It's very ironic. Marvel, can I ask you a serious question?
I'm just like this guy again, like Marvel, like he knows more about FBA's Black Americans than himself. Like he doesn't even call himself Senegalese. So you're exactly who we're trying to fight against.
He doesn't call himself
We're trying to fight against the shit you are, your whole existence. We're trying to fight against that as Latinos. As Latinos, we have a culture. We are proud of who we are. We identify by our countries of origin: Mexican, Brazilian, Dominican, Puerto Rican. You name it, Peruvian.
Right, our
Colombian.
ancestral roots.
We are proud. Yeah, we are proud of our culture and nationality, our country of origin. Like, we don't want to say we're Black, right? We don't want to say that. Like, nobody wants to say that. Nobody wants to say that.
Look, I'm not really gonna.
Why would you want to identify with a color, bro? Just a fucking color. Why would we adopt Anglo-American or African-American labels? Like, why would we do that? Are labels not good enough?
Yeah, so I can explain. First and foremost, FBA, the reason why I defend it is one is because I don't like the gentrification of terminologies. That it seems to be very common. It seems to be very common that terms for the Black community gets co-opted and changed. Same thing like Black fatigue, woke. These terms were originated and had different meanings that are originated in the Black community by Black people and have been changed. Same thing that's happening to FBA. Except FBA is actually very important because it's a very important term. Right, and it's the same type of philosophy, same type of principles that apply to Black Canadians. Black Canadians have a very deep-rooted history in Canada that predates the existence of Canada.
What?
Yes, there are no.
Historically, there are no Black.
Substantial for the global community when it comes to racism.
Yeah, so for Canada, I don't know if you guys know.
First of all,
let him
First Nation.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys know.
I just want to leave it know. Black Canadians, they're on First Nation land. They're on Indigenous land.
I don't disagree with that.
The Inuit.
So hold on. Disagree with the fact that Black people are on Indigenous land. That's a fact.
You're not from this continent.
They're on Indigenous land in Chicago. I'm not even pro-Indigenous, and this is just laughable to me. That's the fact that you are pretending. Marvel, I'm not pro-Indigenous, I'm pro-Latino. The fact that you are pretending as if Black people aren't on Indigenous land currently right now.
So that's crazy. I've never said that.
In all of these areas, come on, bro.
Yeah, so I've never said that.
Black people are just like the white Europeans, right? They are here on colonized lands, correct?
So I've never said that black people are indigenous to Canada. I never said that. I
never made that claim against you.
Well, I mean, you said.
I literally did not even make that claim.
But why do you care about the gentrification of the term? Like, we're not even fighting against that literal term that you're talking about. It's against the payasos who are being clowns, dude. You're wasting your breath up here, dude. Aren't you tired?
Because it's not just you guys who do it, but like East
But
Africans
it's not.
do
But
it,
we're not
a lot of
fighting
different
against
North
that
Africans do it.
gentrification that you're pushing right now. We're not fighting against that. I'm telling you right now, we're not fighting against that. That sounds like a whole other entity. We're fighting against the bullshit, okay? The erasure, the clownness that's
The
coming
racism.
with it.
Let's say it. Let's just say it. The racism.
That too. We're fighting against. We
Yes,
have a rebuttal
exactly.
against all of that.
Yeah, let's say it. Let's say, look, listen, from now on, you know how they're trying to, and I told you that, guys, this before, years ago. I told you. They're purposely smearing our name. They're purposely spreading misinformation about us because they want to paint us to be the most racist, the most ugliest people on the fucking planet because they hate us. They hate us, and they want to make us the focus of racism to kind of cover up their racism. You know, black fatigue. What do you think that black fatigue is all about? That it's gotten to the point where their own community have to get in front of a camera on YouTube or wherever and call their own community out. You know, and here they are painting us to be the most racist people just to draw away attention from themselves. This is why they're doing it.
You know what? I had this point earlier, that exact point in regards to it's almost like a black flag from themselves and their identity, so they're actually seeking their identity.
I mean, you know, it's kind of like, you know, if you're gonna fight, if you're gonna like, you know, again, I agree that like there are FBAs who are trying to steal culture and who are bad faith actors. But to then say that, like, you know, the way you're positing that, right?
Oh my
the
God.
conversation to say that, like,
But
oh,
we're not
they're
worried
stealing,
about
they're
that
stealing
portion
culture
of
that they
it.
don't
We're
have.
not.
You know what?
We're not worried.
I'm about how somebody else can get up because that dude, you know, he's taking up a slot that can be brought up with some
He's
actual
taking up an
context.
opposition.
He's just talking in circles.
Yeah, I
like,
mean, he's from Canada. He's from
He's
Canada.
a number one fan on the panel,
have a
trying to
different-
convince us to be fans with him, and we're not
He's
going
a
to be that.
Cadewias
Yeah.
from Canada.
Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of him.
Yeah, por favor.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, he's from Canada. They have a different political views. They're like so European, nice.
Yeah. He
They have
exposed himself.
parliament.
Like, he's Senegalese. Like,
I'm
yeah,
just saying,
okay.
he's just wasting space here because he will not.
Yeah, he's
understand.
Senegalese. Yeah, exactly. He's Senegalese, and like Black Americans, they beat him out of his identity to claim black, right? Like he's defeated. Like he's done.
Yeah.
I got a quick question for y'all.
He's throwing in the towel.
Hey, I got a quick question for y'all. You guys were talking about the black racism. Have you guys ever seen the actual first African, like,
Bro, Latino history guys here, by the way.
have you guys ever seen the first what is it called, humanoid that came out of Africa?
No.
I saw that one from Spain.
I don't know what you're
Humanoid?
So you guys were talking about black racism, right? Because these people believe that we all came from them.
Oh, you're talking about the out of Africa theory.
Yeah.
No, that's
they
different.
all believe.
Coming from out of Africa is one thing, and being born out of black people is another.
Exactly.
Our DNA, like we all have DNA from Africa.
And they don't understand that. Like, have you guys actually ever shown them a picture of the first, like, African, fucking, what is it called? Humanoid that came out of there? Like, it looks nothing.
European ancestry is not indigenous lands. My African ancestry is not indigenous lands. But that's the point, dude. I want to reaffirm the point that no, I don't disagree with that at all. You cannot
Is this a free for all or what?
Everybody here agrees on the left, in the center, and on the right. Black Africans are not indigenous to these lands, so they have zero right to dictate any of our positions.
I agree.
Yes, they can have influence. Yes, they can, bring their culture with ours, and we can meld it and create something so much better. Obviously. Obvio. Pero they have zero rights to tell us what to do on, in our perspective. So if you and I are arguing, I don't want to hear a black American. I don't want to hear a white American. I want to hear you Sauce. I want to hear you, Cristiana, whatever, Christian, Cristiana, anybody, Reina. Because we are.
Okay, that's Christian. Can I jump in here, please? Because y'all talking a lot about Black Americans, and we are. So I don't take the position that all of us are indigenous to this land. I take the position that we're native to the United States of America, the country. So that matters because we are a world that operates based on laws, not based on what you believe.
Based on law.
Yes, we are based on international law and individual country law. Just like Mexico has laws, they had treaties between Mexico and America. So you can't just disassociate from those treaties because you wanted to benefit.
The way that we're speaking.
Hold on. Mexicans, look, as Mexicans, we can also make that claim. We've always been here in America. We built California and Texas.
You're still in America. You have the Mexican state.
Yes, hold on. Let me finish. Look, in the Guadalupe Hidalgo Treaty says if Mexicans decided to stay in U.S. territory, they will automatically become U.S. citizens.
Correct.
And this was in 1848.
And there were treaties with the indigenous for those same things.
Mexican Americans. Yes. So the Mexican Americans, but all of them had the right to vote because they were U.S. citizens before the rest of the Black American diaspora in the U.S. was able to.
No, we were already citizens from day one of this country. That's what people don't recognize.
No, not all of you.
Yes, we were.
There were some freedmen. There were some freedmen.
So we were citizens from the start. Exactly.
Yeah, but not all of you. You guys.
Yeah, but you can't say you were a citizen in America before a Black man was. You were not.
All Mexican Americans
were not
citizens. Yeah, we were.
No, we were citizens.
Guadalupe Hidalgo Treaty.
1848 happened before, but 1776 came before, and 1789 came before 1846, and we were citizens from day one.
Let's be very clear. Honestly.
Yes.
Wait, I want to cut it. Let's be very clear.
Y'all don't know anything.
Jaguar.
White man tied you on a tree and
Jaguar.
No, we voted for delegates to the Constitution. So we were in this country from day one. That's how, and we built the country. What are you talking about? Y'all just don't know. You just have to go read. So we could vote in New Hampshire, in New York, in New Jersey, in North Carolina. Some of us were considered property, but a lot of us were free as well and voting for delegates to the Constitutional Convention. So when it says we the people, it includes my people as well.
Us Mexican Americans, we were all U.S. citizens, the ones that stayed in U.S. territory after the war in 1848.
I'm talking about 1776. I'm talking about day one.
Enslaved.
I'm talking about 1789.
That's a stretch.
Wait.
Bro, you're getting semantic, bro. That's a stretch. We've been here.
Y'all just don't know our history, and that's my problem with a lot of Mexicans.
You can't pull
is that y'all come here and try to dictate when y'all don't even know the history.
We built Texas and California. We sparked the Civil Rights Movement. Mendez v. West.
Y'all invited enslavers into Texas territory.
We abolished
when Mexico had already abolished slavery.
Bro,
I got a question. Doug, I got a question for you. So you said something in regards to 1776. What about 1776?
I'm saying from day one, Black Americans have been free citizens of America. So from the date of the Declaration of Independence to the Constitutional Convention, which we sent delegates just like white Americans sent delegates to the Constitutional Convention. It was made for us. That's why it doesn't say, oh, this is for free white inhabitants. It says free inhabitants.
Hey, hold on, real quick. So you're making the claim that you guys have been citizens since the inception of the United States, right? That's
100%. Yes.
Okay. If that were true, then what's the purpose of the 14th Amendment?
Because some of us were enslaved. Obviously, majority of us were enslaved. But we had free citizens since day one. So not all of us were enslaved. Not all of us were enslaved.
Okay, guys. Okay, so listen. So now he's saying, hold on, did you hear that right? He first started generalizing, but now he's backtracking. He's saying not all of us were enslaved, right?
We were not. That was my position from the beginning. You're misquoting.
No. You switched it up. No, in 1776, you guys were not free. There was most black people. They were slaves. All right, most of them.
Did we have any free black
and
people?
did you guys? And you guys were not
Answer
citizens.
the question. Did we have any free black citizens?
In 1776, Black Americans were not citizens. They were not recognized as United States citizens. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Can I just add something statistically?
You don't know what you're talking
about. Hold on,
about.
duct tape. What percentage of slaves?
Just gotta gaslight everybody, right?
Doug. What percentage of the slaves supported the colonies, and what percentage supported the crown?
Well, so yeah, we fought for both sides, right?
No.
We fought for both sides. So majority fought for the.
Why? Why did the majority fight for England? Do you know why?
Majority fought for America.
Dude, for over
the ones who fought for England actually went back to England and were free.
Why they fought for the crown,
y'all just don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all haven't read any.
The crown offered them freedom.
The Americans offered us freedom too and retracted and reneged. Yes, they did.
Dude, where you?
Okay, so first things first, y'all got to look up. So the states of New Jersey, New Hampshire, New York, and North Carolina. See, in 1789, did they have the right to vote?
Hey, wait, 1776 and 89 are two totally different years.
One is declaring independence. The one is the actual Constitution that tells who's a citizen.
Wait, how you going 20 years later?
You don't know what you're talking about. 1776 was to initiate the war, the Revolutionary War. 1789, we have won the war. Crazy.
I have a question.
Wow.
Yo, Duct Tape, I have a question. Do you think that the progressive community is in favor of your position as a black? I black mean because my ancestry is part African, I'm indigenous, and I'm also Latino.
Right, but y'all know y'all have so same Black Americans.
No, sir. I think I don't think you don't know. You don't know what you're talking about.
Everybody else stop.
Can y'all stop? Y'all asking me questions.
Hey, Duct Tape. I disagree with the blanqueamiento because I'm mixed race. I'm part indigenous. Well, I'm Puerto Rican, Peruvian, right? So the Puerto Rican side is part indigenous, part African, part European.
And most of y'all are Dominican and Puerto
Rican. Shut the fuck up real quick. But the whole point is, I'm not against you as a person. What I am against is the FBA movement that has been indoctrinating everybody around them to pretend as if they're fucking indigenous. You have a glorious fucking culture in Africa. My bloodline shares it with you, with Northern Africa, with Europe, with fucking the Americas. Every single one of us on this platform has a incredible bloodline. But the fact of the matter is, the fact of the matter is, you guys need to accept the fact, whether you're American or not, that you have to, relate to us Latinos, because we were for literally 200 years here before you guys were. And I'm not talking about Africans. I'm not talking about people that were slaves from Africa that were.
Yeah, can you get to your point so I can respond?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so
Wait. No. You want me to get to my point? I will get to my point.
He's trying to speak under the
umbrella. Wait, hold on a second. Trap it. I will get to my point. You already know I go ham. Why the fuck are black Canadians and black also Americans trying to pretend as if this is their fucking land when it's not? And also, why the fuck are they defending the Palestinians when we don't even give a fuck about the Palestinians in the first place?
I do.
Yeah, I don't either. So what I'm saying is just like you can. So when I respond, can I just get the chance to respond?
Our opinions about you.
Hey, can I get the chance to respond? I've done listen.
Yes, nigga.
Yes. So nigga, you a nigga too. So
I am a nigga.
So let me answer. Like y'all just want a diatribe. Like come on.
I am a nigga. I am
you a dirty, filthy,
fucking ignorant, dumbass motherfucker. I am
like you just mad. So just like you can be mixed with indigenous black people are mixed with indigenous too, and they claim that.
You're
so get the fuck out of here. You ain't fucking
kidding me, Lucci. Lucci, you're saying that you're black. Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm sorry. You know me.
Doug, what's the source
that
you got?
pretend as if they're against
This is
us.
fucking hilarious.
So did y'all look up the states that black men could vote in?
Okay. First of all, dude, why are we? Okay, hold on. Why are we even looking up Black history? I don't give a shit about Black history.
Right. So if you don't know about our history, don't speak on us. So don't tell us that we're telling you the wrong thing because you don't know.
So, sir, this is the thing. We can
know anything about our heritage.
Sir, nobody. We don't need to know about your history to respond. Sir, we don't need to know about your history to respond to the bullshit that's coming from your community. We don't need to know your history.
We're trying to be educational.
Powder nigga. Me no nigga. Get the fuck out of here. Mestizo nigga. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, stop saying the N-word. We're trying to get the light taken down. Stop saying the N-word. This is not your house when you're alone in your room. You're listening to NWA. This is TikTok Live.
Bro, why do they always?
Hey guys, I got something real quick to say about what he was saying. So the thing about it is, he kept bringing up these northern states, was in New York, New Jersey, and all that. Those were freed states where they did have freedmen, but they were also slaves. There were also enslaved people there.
Yeah, they were runaway. Yeah, they had runaway slaves. Yeah. You know, like it doesn't matter. The whole point is that Mexican Americans, right, when they gained their citizenship for staying in Texas or California, they were all citizens. There was not one Mexican American who was considered property. That's my point.
Yes.
They were all considered U.S. citizens on paper. Yeah, granted, there's like our own Jim Crow laws, but regardless, we were all U.S. citizens. Compared to Black Americans, there's like half of them, majority were property in 1848.
Yes.
So that's just my point. Like,
something I was going to say real quick. There's something I was going to say real quick. He was equating there being freedmen in those states to the fact that he said that they have been citizens in the United States since the inception, which is false, because he did not account for the South. It did not account for the fact that they weren't even considered citizens until that's why I brought up the amendment. They weren't even considered citizens. That's why they literally gave them the amendment, and that's why Trump is saying that. Trump literally said it himself. That amendment was for freed black slaves to give them citizenship.
Yeah,
right?
1864,
exactly.
Way after the Mexican-American War, the Guadalupe Hidalgo. Look at that document. The Guadalupe Hidalgo is literally in the Capitol right now as a museum article, and it's respected. And it says right there, Mexicans who decide to stay are U.S. citizens. So Mexicans, under the U.S. law, we were citizens before y'all Black Americans. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
That guy started lying, bro. He started lying. He started saying that they were all fucking free. They were not free, bro. They got the fucking freedom in the 1800s. These people are the same, bro. They come in with their bullshit. You fucking call them out. Then they fucking roll belly up and start crying fucking racism, bro. It's the same fucking process every single fucking time, bro. These people are fucking... I can't stand them, dude.
But not just that, bro. Even if you want to go before the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, right? Before Nueva Vizcaya existed and it was New Spain. Before all that, bro, these communities weren't even under those laws. It was just the fact that we had been here. You know what I mean? Even some of the, for example, even some of the Chicanos, right?
Yeah, we're indigenous. Yeah. You can also say we're indigenous. Like,
yeah. So, but did you see how confident he came in with his bullshit? Like, did you see the confidence in this man when he came in trying to tell us our fucking history?
Yes. Bro? Yeah, and that's, you know what, and I'm going to tell you guys something. I was going to say something about that confidence. It all has to, it points back to, well, I'm not even going to get into that, but this is what they've been doing to the generation before us, right? With your parents, your grandparents, right? Whatever. They've been doing this. They would, as long as they deliver a message, right? And this is typical in sales department, right? When you're going to make a sale, whether you're selling a car or whatever, right? Anything that has to do with customer service and public speaking, you have to make sure that you sell it right, which means that you're going to have to sound confident. You have to sound like you know what you're saying, right? So they're using these fucking sales tactics when they come to to our community, right? They sell us this idea, their narrative, and they sound very confident, and they will gaslight you. They will, say things like, "Oh, you're uneducated. You don't know what you're talking about." They'll start throwing shit like that, trying to make you feel confused and a little bit insecure about yourself. So if you guys haven't caught on to the strategies, the tactics that they've been using on you guys, it's time you fucking wake up. And now you have to create a counter for that shit, just like I have. I have a lot of fucking counters to a lot of their talking points. That's why they don't fuck with me the way they used to before. But that's what it is. It's all manipulation tactics. And you guys gotta fucking get very Machiavellian about this shit as of fucking yesterday.
I'm gonna just say one last thing, bro. I'm gonna drop after this. I'm gonna drop after this, bro. But now you gotta be careful with them because they've been.
Wait, someone muted him? I think you're getting muted.
Hold on, who's muted?
I don't know.
That was my mistake. My bad. That was my bad.
I'm gonna drop. Yeah, you gotta be careful because they've been conditioned to. We can't question them, right? Because the moment we question them, then we're racist, we're this, we're that. So they get to get away with a lot of shit, bro. And it has nothing to do with racism. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just they've been conditioning the whole fucking population that everything they do and they say is correct, and it's not, dude. It's not. It's these groups and the fucking and the small hats. They do the same fucking shit, dude. So just be careful with that, man, because these people will fucking lie and then expect you to fucking follow along, and then when you don't, they fucking call your name.
So let me sum it up really quickly and just really quick. What Latinos have been under. Let me put it to you this way: you've been psychologically and emotionally abused by a narcissistic partner. These people, it's not the first time, and it's white tea people too, the libs, and it's just white tea people. It's not just the African Americans, but we're talking about them because they're the ones that are more loud right now, and they're very they have a huge presence within our community. So I'm gonna say it again: our community, our people, those people who have been indoctrinated, those people who have been manipulated some way, somehow, psychologically or emotionally, you have been the victim of it. They violated you. Your mind, they've gaslit you, they flipped your reality around, and they're giving you their narrative, their script, their perspective, and now you repeat their reality. That's what's happened here. You've been completely. People they can't come to that term. They can't accept that reality.
Yeah, and this is for my Latino brothers and sisters. Whenever these Afrocentrists or FBAs, they pull up on your live and tell you, you're here because of the 14th Amendment. We gave you the 14th Amendment. Just tell them, look up Guadalupe Hidalgo. Like, Latinos, Mexicans are Latino. We've been here. We've been building America. Later on came the Puerto Ricans because of the war, in 1898, I believe. So, like, yeah, just bring it up. Like, it contradicts the whole fucking 14th Amendment talking point that they try to pull on us Latinos.
The fact of the matter is, sometimes it's not even against us, white tea versus Latinos. Sometimes it's just religious, because these Protestants are very finicky. They have been so pro LGBT lately. It's been getting a little bit weird, bro. Honestly, from a Catholic perspective, I'm just like, bro, what the fuck are these Protestants doing? But that's a separate issue. I don't hate LGBT people. I don't hate people that are liberal. I mean, if you want to fucking get your D-est, you know what I'm saying? You want to get your dingalings est, by all means, my nigga. Like, that's all you. But the whole point is, there has to be some level of moralism. There has to be some level of ethics. So that's what I advocate for. I want my Latino people, indigenous, Latino, mestizo, mulato, I don't give a fuck. You're my people. We are the best. We will conquer.
Facts. Así es.
Yeah, we will conquer the fucking solar system. Us as Latinos.
Hey, Lucci, how many glasses of wine have you had today, bro? It's all good.
What?
It's the holidays, man. It's all good. It's all valid.
No, Lucci. No, wait, hold on. I think Lucci. No. I think Rosari.
Truthfully,
he had a wake up call. Yeah, he had a wake up call. Lucci. I know you had that wake up call. We were always right. thank you. I respect that for finally realizing that we were always on the right side.
You were wrong because conservative movement is the right way. If you want to preserve your culture, let's put it this way. Fidel, I agree with you. You brought me back. But if we want to preserve our culture, we have to defend our society and our social standards. I don't care about if you're gay. I don't care about if you're LGBT. I don't give a fuck. But the fact of the matter is, us as Latinos, we have a standard. We have a social society. We have ethics. We can maybe disagree.
I'll just tell you this, Jay.
We are people of value and principles.
Yes,
Sorry,
of course.
I've experienced it from both men and women, and I have to say men do it slightly better because the man understands how the PP works. So the men do it better. But I'll tell you this, man, I don't have an issue with that's facts. I don't have any I don't have any issue with I'm jeez. I'm pretty far left. Like I'm more left